not enter into the presence of God and pray, and your countenance is not altered, the altar will alter your countenance. When you alter prayer, it will alter your countenance. When you alter words, it will alter your countenance. Your appearance is different. As he prayed, one of revival. I hear voice. I hear God say, the revival will begin with you. I am revival. It's not going to be an ordinary
Good afternoon, Miracle Arena, Mama and Papa. We just wanted to share 2 quick testimonies of God's faithfulness. At the beginning of the year, Papa had prophesied that by November, people would be moving into houses. And here is our house that we just moved into 2 weeks ago. It's a new build. God exceeded our expectations. 4 bedrooms plus a bonus room, 2-car garage, 2.5 baths, full backyard. And we just want to thank Minister MD, Mama and Papa for standing and praying with us. God is so good. We thank you, Papa, for putting the word out there and giving us something to believe for.
I want to share one quick testimony also. So a couple months ago, we had an allegation against us from Children's Services here in Ohio. And long story short, we were accused of something that we didn't do. And so with that being said, if it had come to pass, we would have been in some serious trouble. We had to get a lawyer involved. It was a long, drawn-out process. But thanks to glory be to God that last week we got the ruling that our appeal was approved and was overturned. And so we thank God for that.
Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Mama, Apostle, Minister MD, and everybody that prayed for us. God was so faithful. He fought for us. He is truly a wonderful God. We just want to share our testimony. Thank you.
So that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on the pillow. And they awake him and say unto him, Master, carry down not that we perish. And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea,
England, Australia,
Be still.
Congo,
And the wind ceased,
Ghana,
and there was a great calm. Now watch this. The story of chapter 4, verse, the last chapter verse you read, is going to continue in chapter 5. Then you understand the reason why the storm was coming against Jesus. He didn't just decide that the storm would come against him. There was some reason why the storm has come against him. Now in chapter 5, you're going to reveal. Let's do it.
And they came over onto the other side of the sea.
Come on.
Into the Gadarenes.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was come out of the ship,
come on,
immediately there met him out of the tomb.
Please read it again. And he came where?
And they came over onto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gadarenes.
Okay. You're gonna get it?
Yeah. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit.
He came into the place of the guard. So remember the name that Leah gave the son of Jacob. The name was called God. Now God has now become a territory, a place that demons dominate because of the anger behind the mention of the name. Be careful when you are angry what you say, because you can say something today that you may not see the effect of what you have seen today, but in the future you will invite spirit to come and live with you. When Jesus asked the young man, what is your name? Before he cast out the demon, what did the name the person said? He said, my name is called, what's the name? Legion. He says, for a troop. Why did he say that? Because of the name that Leah gave, it invited demons to come and live in this single man. So when Leah said God, troop is coming, he did not invite troops of angels, but he invited troops of demons. 4 things happened to this man. He lost his identity of who he was. If there was a negative influence over the name you are carrying, you will lose, number 1, your identity. Number 2, he lost contact with normal human beings. It's because the name was pronounced out of anger, and so anything that should live would die. So he started living among the two. No the name that was on him, the pain of Leah started manifesting in his life. The Bible says from morning to night, he will cut himself and bleed and cry. Why? Because the pain of the one that named him is manifesting over him. When people pronounce things against you, when people call you certain names, and you don't take time to fast and pray against it, the manifestation of those names that they called on you will start affecting your destiny and affecting your identity. Many years, over 1,500 years is past. Leah is no more alive. Leah is dead. But the generation of God has been built into a nation. And those nations have harbored demons among them. Why? Because one person pronounced a word that contradicted God's purpose and God's plans for the destiny of that person called God. Just because somebody pronounced something. And the person, and the unfortunate thing is that when the name was called God, there was no woman around to pray. If you compare Leah to Rachel, Rachel said, I gave birth in pain, and the glory of God is departed, and called the name Benoni. The Bible said, and Jacob arrived and said, thou shalt be called Benjamin. There was somebody to overturn it. But the question is that if what they called you, you were not a believer, and you didn't have the spirit of God like Jacob to overturn the meaning of your name, it means that you will be suffering and be praying, but you will not see manifestation because nobody can sense it. Today I pray for you. Whatever has been spoken over your life, whatever when you were angry you said to yourself, whatever you declared to your destiny, I pray that God overturn it in the name of Jesus. Sit down. Jacob overturned it. Look at the book of Genesis chapter 46. Genesis 46. The destiny of this man is in trouble. Genesis 46.
And Israel took his journey.
Israel took his journey.
All that he had.
All that he had.
And came to Sheba.
Come on.
And offered sacrifices unto the God of his father Isaac.
Come on.
And God spake.
And God spake
unto Israel in the visions of the night. And said, Jacob,
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 Jacob.
And he said, Here am I. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father.
Come on.
Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation. I will go down with thee into Egypt.
Come on.
And I will also surely bring thee up again. And Joseph shall put his hand upon thine eyes.
Keep on.
And Jacob rose up.
Jacob rose up
from Beersheba.
From Beersheba.
And the sons of Israel carried Jacob.
The sons of Israel carried Jacob. Now watch this. Jacob is now being commanded by God to go and now begin to bless his children. Now in 49, the blessing is about to be pronounced on them. And look at what happened. Based on their names, this is what is going to take place. Keep on. 49 verse 1. Genesis chapter 49 verse 1.
And Jacob called unto his son.
Now he called all the sons together
and said,
gather
yourselves together.
Come on.
That I may tell you.
Come on.
That which shall befall you in the last days. Yourselves together. And hear ye sons of Jacob.
Come on.
And hearken unto Israel, your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn.
Thou art my firstborn. Keep on.
My might. And the beginning of my strength. The excellency of dignity.
And
the excellency of power.
Come on.
Unstable. As water. Thou shalt not excel.
Now in verse 19. Then he called God. Verse 19. God, a truth shall overcome him.
But he shall overcome at the last.
God, a truth shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last. You see, the young man, for his whole life, the painful thing is that a troop overcame him earlier. The last minute of his life was when he received deliverance. You see, deliverance at late and at last is still equal to no deliverance at all. Because if you are not free now and you are free at the last minute, what possession do you have? So he said, God, a troop cometh, but you shall be free at last. I pray that my deliverance will not be at the end of my life. That if there should be any deliverance for me, the deliverance should begin from this hour. Who brought that thing? The person that brought that thing was a person with jealousy and enviness, whose name was called Leah. Leah just came and just messed up somebody who have different identity and different life. Hear me? There are three ways a person can mess your destiny. Number one, by association. Anybody that lives in the land of Gazared was affected by the curse and the pronouncement of Leah. There's one thing as a spiritual person I take very serious. The first one is a curse. You can't joke with it. Somebody said something. Somebody said anything, just anything, and then you just leave them. No. A curse, hear me. A curse always have a timing to manifest. So don't just let people say. In fact, even if you are staying around people and they tell you that, oh, in this city, if it was 4 years ago, if it was 5 years ago, I'm telling you, things would have been very better. Refuse it, overturn it. If it is possible, fast against it. Because that thing that has been projected in the atmosphere will contradict your goals and your visions and your plans. Okay. Leah said it 1,500 years later. God is born. He has to be in a place held by these demons of legions. Why? Because when Leah said it, watch this. Leah said it although, but the sad thing of this story is that Jacob also, who is a prophet, also saw it. It has become his identity. What did the woman say? He said, oh God, a truth cometh. And then Jacob said, listen, this woman did not pronounce it well. There are some people, even if they say God bless you, the meaning is different. Check my book called Adonijah. Adonijah must die. Adonijah means Yahweh is to be praised. But meanwhile, Adonijah's agenda was to kill Absalom from the throne. It was to destroy. Adonijah's purpose was to remove David from the power of to remove David's sons from the throne. So there are some people, they may but the agenda is there. That is why every believer must develop a sense of supernatural power to discern the meaning of that pronouncement. He said it. The woman said, a troop coming. She said the troop is coming. Watch what Jacob said. The ordinary woman, and let me tell you this, Jacob's favorite is Rachel. But Laban's favorite is Leah. Now remember this, that Leah is a very powerful woman. Because Jacob, who have come to marry in that family, is not just marrying the family, he is marrying in a family that has a strong witchcraft background. Very strong witchcraft. Remember that Rebecca is a very powerful woman. That is the only woman in the Bible who was in the kitchen, who had a bedroom conversation. It's not a normal human being. A woman in the kitchen with all the noise of the kitchen, yet could hear and call the son Jacob and say, quickly come, your father have decided to bless your brother. She was also the woman who knew specifically what the man was looking for. There are some people who knows what you will do, you will prosper. And they can twist it into the heads of somebody else. And they can quickly, must take this and give it to your father. So the woman called Rebecca is coming from a strong family, and they were all idol worshippers. Remember, when Richie was coming out of the house, Richie went to take the idol and sat on the idol. What made Rachel give birth prematurely? Because she sat on the idol, and when she was asked, do you have the idol? And she said, I don't have the idol. And that was the reason why she gave birth and died. She gave birth but could not name the baby. The spirit of receiving a miracle, but someone will take it away from you. Trying hard. See, a lot of things that people are going through. You can get all the diploma, all the certificates, but you are not in the position of what you studied for. What is the essence of spending all this SOSA and just get all the diploma you are looking for, but you're not working on the field? The spirit of ritual, get back to it, but never enjoy it. Look at the same scripture where we read, where the woman gave birth, the woman called the name 30 verse 11, Genesis 30:11. Look at this, Genesis 30:11. Genesis 30:11. The ordinary person is speaking. Watch this.
And Leah said,
Truth cometh. Truth cometh.
and she called his name.
A truth cometh. She called the name a truth. Let me also say this. Let me also believe with you that the one who gave you name was like Leah. She didn't know the meaning. Now, Prophet Jacob in Genesis chapter 49 verse 1 will tell you the nature of the manifestation of Jacob's ministry. So don't forget that in Genesis 30 verse 11, she said, a troop cometh. Period. He didn't say anything. Only her knows what is in the heart, and she spoke out of jealousy. So there was a negative influence behind the name. Now watch Genesis chapter 49 verse 1.
Jacob called unto his sons.
Jacob called unto his sons
and said,
gather yourselves together,
that I may tell you that which shall befall you.
Gather yourself together, that I may tell you which are before thee. Prophecy. I want to give you prophecy.
Gather yourselves together and hear.
Gather yourself together and hear.
Ye sons of Jacob.
You sons of Jacob.
And hearken
unto
Israel your father. Reuben, thou art my firstborn.
Thou art my firstborn.
My might.
Watch this, verse 19. Please, before we do the 19, I want you to repeat it. 30 verse 11. Leah called the name God and said, truth cometh. That's all. Truth cometh. But look at Jacob. The prophet is now decoding the name that she is answering. I pray today that when you sleep, God will mysteriously bring an angel to let you know the meaning of the name you are answering. Amen. And sometimes, hear this, not only the name you are answering, but sometimes the influence behind the name. Because there was somebody's heart, which was Leah's heart. And the heart of Leah was so evil that she provoked demonic spirit to pursue the destiny. God is walking in life and they are calling him Mr. God, and he's just receiving the name but not knowing him. There is an influence behind the name. Jacob, look at him. He said, I prophesied to all the sons. Now you God come here. Hear what he says. 49 verse 11. 49:11. Are you there?
Verse 11. Binding his vow unto the vine, and his ass coals unto the choice vine.
49 verse 19. Sorry, 19.
God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
God, a troop shall overcome him. Sit down. God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at last. I want us to look at the story very well. Look at the way a man who was born with identity and destiny, how he suffered in the hands of these demons just because a word was pronounced over his life. Mark chapter 5 verse 9. Mark 5:9.
And he asked him, What is thy name?
What is your name?
And he answered, saying, My name is Legion.
My name is Troops.
For we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding. And all the devils besought him, saying, Send us into the swine, that we may enter into them.
Let me tell you this. The human soul is so huge and broad that it can accommodate more than 12 troops. 12,000 troops, sorry. The human soul. So you can collect soul tiles from 15 people or 10 people or more than that you may not even see the manifestation of it. And the painful thing is that when you go through those challenges and you don't know where you collected those things from, you are suffering, but you cannot overturn it because you don't know it to turn it out. So Jesus was dealing with this man, and he said to the man, What is your name? And the man said, My name is that we are plenty. We are troops. The problems are a lot. They are coming from different angles. I don't even know which one I should call. What I'm going through is too beyond me. It's too much. This story here, this story there. I don't even know which one I should start attacking. The Bible said something happened to this man. Because he was so possessed, he was out of his mind. That's the next thing that happens to you. When there is troops of demons, when there are powers fighting you, especially. Now hear this. You know that the man who Jesus delivered, there was a problem going on. He could not sleep at night. And it was not only him. The Bible said, and he cut himself every night, that even those who were also there could not sleep. So if somebody like this is called God and is living in your family, it means that when he is confused, you'll be confused. When he is not sleeping, you will not sleep. Tonight, when I ask you to pray, you are not going to pray only for yourself. Anybody who is in a family who is suffering, may God deliver them so that you too can have your peace. Amen. There are spirits, you see, there are people who are affected with all this kind of attacks that follow their life. But there are other times when these people who are suffering also become a parasite to your blessing. God gives to you, they have to be there to collect the little that you have to take. So he's in a place in Gazaret, and everybody in Gazaret is now facing the challenge of this man to a point that he was so loaded with a demon that physical chain cannot change him. What you are going through is not a matter of school. What you are going through is not a matter of maybe if I live in America it will be better. What you are going through is not a location problem. What you are going through is not, I can't make a decision. How do you make a decision when there are troops of legions that are in you? They are all having a meeting with your mind. You don't have a mind of your own. This is the state of the guy. And people try to tell him, look, you need to calm down. How do you calm a man down who doesn't know what is pushing him? You know, at a point in the man's life, he now decided that, okay, look, nobody understands me. So suicidal thoughts. He is not dead, but he's living among the dead. Do you know how it feels to live, but you are living among the dead? When you up every morning, seeing yourself dead and asking yourself, why am I living? When death is asking you, when are you coming? This is the nature of the young man. Listen to me. He's a man who has legs, who have heads, but he never have that mindset that one day he will marry.